Hello team and welcome back to the Football Social Live on Football Daily and Soccer AM's YouTube pages. You're joining us for the penultimate game of the Premier League season. Yes, it's Liverpool versus Chelsea at Anfield, and there's some tasty narratives today. Okay, Liverpool can secure a club best 31 victories if they beat Chelsea today. Chelsea can secure Champions League football. Both teams plagued by inconsistencies recently. Liverpool after the break, Chelsea all season long, losing 11 games, conceding 49 goals. But still, masters of their own fate in this tie. And we're joined by a master of his craft. And more importantly, another Chris from Leicester. It's Chris Kirkland. Yes, he looks nice and comfy as well.
Hello,
Love that.
okay,
He's embracing the casual setting. How are you feeling about today's tie from a Liverpool standpoint, mate?
Confident, really confident. I think what Liverpool have done this season has been incredible. Thoroughly deserve to win the league, and hopefully they can finish off in style tonight. And I think now with what footballers and the clubs have done over the last 4 weeks, they've obviously risked themselves, trying to put a spectacle on for fans, and they've done that. I think the football's been fantastic. We've missed the fans of the games. I think we realise now just how much fans make football. Hopefully they can finish off in style tonight and lift that trophy later on after the back of a good win.
Absolutely. Make sure you're getting all your questions to us as the stream goes on. 321 league and cup appearances to his name across an 18-year career. Plenty to divulge on later. Chris Kirkland. And of course, Sam Obaseki joins us as our resident Chelsea fan. How are you, sir? Not looking as confident as Chris. Got to be said.
You know what it is? I feel like Liverpool are really going to come with a lot of effort today. Obviously, their last few results haven't been great. And the fact that they're going to win, they're going to lift a trophy today. I've got a feeling that Klopp is telling them, like, you got to win, and then we can really celebrate. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm confident with Lamps right now. I like when we play three at the back. I feel like we're a bit more comfortable when we play three at the back. So hopefully we can get a draw, because really and truly, that's all we need for Champions League football.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for a silver lining for you. Liverpool, of course, only winning 4 of their 9 games since the break, but you've also lost 11, which is the most in the top 8. So anything could happen. But here, capturing every moment in a way only he can, is Will Brazier, who's got another responsibility today, but he's not being paid extra for it. Sorry, Will.
No, it's all right. I feel sick as a parrot already. I'll be covering all the goals in the Championship as they happen. Promotion, as it stands, West Brom are going to the Premier League. Playoff still up for grabs, and my beloved Birmingham City could be going down to League One. And also, get your questions in for Chris Kirkland, why don't you? At Football Daily, at Soccer AM, using the hashtag Football Social.
Love it. We'll hear some predictions from the guys in just a moment, but let's go to the bottom of the Premier League table to start with. Okay, so West Ham's much-deserved draw against Manchester United leaves them in 15th on 38 points. Things looking a little bit more comfortable now for David Moyes' men. Antonio striking again in that game. What a strong finish to the season he's having. Let's go to the top. There we have it. Like we said at the start of the show, Liverpool chasing a club record 31 victories. Chelsea just looking to secure Champions League football, which would have been, I think we can all, admit, a very good achievement by Frank Lampard at the start of the season. Leicester and Manchester United do lose the initiative if Chelsea claim all the spoils today. Let's go straight into Liverpool's starting lineup then. Okay, so the only change from the Arsenal defeat is Naby Keita coming in for Oxlade-Chamberlain. And of course, Mo Salah still chasing his 20th league goal of the season. If he scores today, he'll become one of only 3 Liverpool players to have scored that amount of goals in 3 consecutive campaigns. Let's go to Chelsea then. Like Sam said, lining up in that familiar 3-4-3, and they've looked a lot more solid since utilising that system. Although Kepa has still conceded 42 goals in 32 appearances. 2 changes from the last game, James and Mount both coming in. Sam, let's start with the visitors then. Would you say that is Chelsea's strongest lineup? Oh, right on cue. Sorry, Sam.
Sorry, Sam.
Hey,
Ryan
you scared
Manning
me,
has
Will,
scored
bro.
for
Hey.
QPR. Low drive. They're winning at the Albion. So that puts Brentford, well, it gives them an amazing chance to go to the Premier League. West Brom 0, QPR 1, Ryan Manning. Sorry to interrupt.
I love it.
No,
This is
Will,
like a throwback to Football Social of old now, isn't it?
Luton has scored as well.
Chris,
That's down the bottom.
Just to give you some context, Will is a Birmingham fan and has been waiting about 100 episodes on the Football Social to talk Championship football. So he's going to do so at every opportunity today. Sam, back to the question. Is this Chelsea's strongest lineup?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say with the issues that we've had defensively, in terms of the amount of goals that we've conceded, the lack of durability at the back, just in general, I think playing 3 at the back and 2 wing backs is the best way for us to stop the top teams. I think we proved that against United. We did that against Spurs as well. And yeah, it just gives me that bit more assurance. You know, I don't like being worried when I'm playing when I'm watching Chelsea, and I feel like when we play 3 at the back, I'm a bit more. I feel a bit more confident. So I think I'm comfortable with that lineup.
Chris, having seen both the lineups now, are you still as confident? You still think this is going to be comprehensive for Liverpool?
I do, yeah. I just think obviously they know they're going to lift the title after the game. I think that'll give them a big boost. They'll be excited about that and they'll want to go out in style. I think we've missed Henderson. I think we've just seen just how much how much he runs this Liverpool team. The last few games when he's not been playing, we have struggled in that midfield area. So he'll be a big miss again tonight. But yeah, I expect us to sign off in style at home tonight.
Okay, before we go to Social Corner then, let's have some predictions. Let's lock in our scorelines, gentlemen. Starting with you, Chris, as our guest. Give us a number.
I'm going to go for 2-0. 2-0 home win.
Wow, you don't want us to score at all?
I think that answers your question, Sam.
2-0
Absolutely
clean sheet,
not.
Alisson again.
I thought Chris was just answering that with silence then. I was going to say, love that standoff early doors. A rivalry is already developing. Sam, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna put some positive energy in the air for Chelsea. So I'm gonna say 2-1 to Chelsea. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So we're split. I think I'm going to go with Chris. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Reds. Will, rounding off the predictions.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-3. But Wigan have just scored against Fulham, so Brentford are in the driving seat as it stands.
He is in his element. He doesn't care about Premier League football. The Championship is in town, and Will Brayshaw is plugged in. Okay, so we've got our predictions. Will, have we got any questions to keep us ticking over until the game starts for Chris?
Yes, lots flying in. Chris, we'll start with you. Thanks for joining us this evening. And obviously, you want to talk about Alisson and Edison. It's a battle that's been going on in the Football Social. For you, who's the better of the two?
Alisson for me. You know, I think he's obviously number one for Brazil as well. I've been down to Melwood a few times and watched him train. He's absolutely blown us away. I think since he's come to the club, I think over the last 4 years, Liverpool have needed a goalkeeper. No disrespect to the other keepers that have been at the club, but we've needed somebody that's special, and we've certainly got that with Alisson now. You know, the two missing pieces of the jigsaw were a centre-back. We've seen Van Dijk, what he's done, and also the goalkeeper. So Alisson's them two have been amazing, and it's no coincidence that, you know, we've won the league now because we've got two exceptional players to go with the rest of the squad as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, what would you do for a goalkeeper as reliable as Alisson?
I would do a lot. I would do a lot. It definitely gives your team so much more confidence having a goalkeeper that rarely makes mistakes, that is good on the ball, that is commanding from free kicks, corners, that that saves you in situations where you genuinely think that you're going to concede. And I feel like we've had that problem since Kepa's come in. But we never know. Today the roles might reverse, and Kepa's the one that's pulling off the heroics.
So just to round off that point, I'm not going to let you off that lightly. In the summer, do you go after another goalkeeper as well as that left back area?
Yeah. I'd say we do, just because I feel like Lampard had a period where he tried Caballero, gave him a month, and then gave Kepa the opportunity to come back. And even though he did have a few good performances, he's kind of slipped back into his old ways, a bit nonchalant when he's on the ball, and just not as confident as I would want a Chelsea goalkeeper to be. So yeah, I think in the summer Lampard's definitely going to be cutthroat and try and get a goalkeeper. Hopefully Onana or Black. Yeah, one of those two.
Okay, mate. Chris, I was going to ask, do you feel for Kepa a little bit? Would you be prepared to, give him another season to settle in, or featuring in a Champions League club, are you just not going to get that leeway anymore?
I think he's under huge pressure. I do. I think I do agree. I think they'll go for someone in the summer. There's talk of obviously Dean Henderson. I can't see Man U letting him go, but I think he has struggled. I think he's not up to the pace of the game, and I think they will try and get somebody else to put more pressure on him from the summer. A lot of money though. Is it,
Henderson.
70 odd million? It's a lot of money for a goal. I mean, spent 70 odd million. You compare it to Alisson, similar figure. I mean, Alisson's been a complete hit. Kepa's still got a lot to prove at the minute.
Been a complete miss. Yeah.
A complete miss. Will, I saw you had your hand up there. I saw you being very patient, mate. Go on, give us a goal update.
Brentford are losing 1-0 to Barnsley, which means all of the top teams that could get automatically promoted are losing. So as it stands, West Brom are going back to the Premier League, and Forest and Cardiff are in the remaining playoff positions. And as it stands, Luton are staying up. Barnsley, Charlton and Hull are going down to League One.
You know what? This game's got to do an awful lot to steal the limelight back from the Championship, because it sounds pretty darn exciting at the moment, William. Have we got any more questions to keep us ticking over for the last couple minutes?
Yeah, well, while I've got free reign on the Championship, and it's not often I do, Chris, I have to talk about Wigan and your time there. But if Wigan pull this off, what an amazing job Paul Cook's done.
Oh, incredible. I mean, you go back, when they found out about the points deduction, I mean, that can absolutely demoralise you. But they've responded in the right way. They've been on some run. The form since they've come back from, since the season started again after COVID, has been absolutely superb. And, winning tonight, and I hope they really do it, because with the point deduction, and, there's a lot of confusion with the owner. Obviously, there's rumours what's gone on with the betting and everything like that. So if they can do the talking on the pitch, and then hopefully everything will get sorted out off the pitch as well.
Yeah, nice. I'm just going back to that Kepa debate, because I know, of course, when you joined Liverpool, Chris, it was for a very sizable fee, and you were a British record at the time, costing £6 million. How heavy did that price tag weigh on you? Because like you said, Chelsea paid an awful lot of money for Arrizabalaga.
Didn't feel it at all. When I was younger, you don't really feel... I didn't start feeling the pressure until I was probably when I got to 30. Over 30, that's when you start to realise some of the games you're playing in the magnitude. But when you're younger, you don't think about that. All you want to do is play. All you want to do is train. I wanted to save shots. I wanted to keep clean sheets. So never thought I'd say when I was younger. And I've always said after, when you're at a top team, yes, there's pressure there, but there's far more pressure when you're playing at a team near the bottom of the league. When you're battling relegation, that's real pressure.
Yeah, great stuff. Will, I heard a gasp there, mate. Can you give us an update? I can confirm the game has kicked off as well, Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Yeah, obviously back down to the best league in the world, and West Brom have equalised. Dean Garner has scored for West Brom, so they've now got a 2-point lead over Brentford and are in the driving seat to be back in the Premier League.
Well, a few more twists and turns are going to come our way, no doubt, and we'll keep you updated. Even easy for you to say. And if you want to get a question to Chris Kirkland, then let us know. Get at us on all our social media platforms. Liverpool versus Chelsea. We're a little bit late with the feed. We're here now, Sam. We're a minute in. You've gone for a Chelsea victory. I don't know what I'm expecting you to say about the game at this point, but have you seen anything since the break which suggests that, Lampard is starting to get to grips with the selection a little bit more? Are certain players presenting themselves as key components of this side?
Yeah, I think he's been quite cutthroat, to be fair, in terms of when we've lost and the changes that he's made and the players he's brought in. I think he's given a lot of players opportunities. Like a lot of the players in the first team have been given opportunities to shine, especially in our defence. I don't think we've started the same back line in 4 consecutive games. So that proves that he doesn't really know he's starting 11, and I wouldn't expect him to, just because there's so many young players coming in. Reece James, his first season in the Premier League. Mason Mount, he's making his 50th appearance this season, after just debuting this season as well. I think he's the first Chelsea academy player to do that. So he's just starting out. Tammy's just coming into the team. Gilmore's got a few minutes. So I don't know. I think he's getting the grips of it. I don't think he genuinely wants to play a 3 at the back, but the fact that we've been conceding so many goals, he wants that to stop. So I think he's getting his way around it.
Yeah, you've looked a lot tighter in sort of the defensive transition in recent weeks. Chris, facing a player like Giroud, that physical reference point, does that make it a lot more difficult as a goalkeeper, anticipating, a lot more crosses into the box and Chelsea perhaps being a little bit more direct in this game?
It does, and for the defence as well. If we go back to just talking about defences there, you need to have a solid defence. You go back over the years, the teams that have won the league, when you go back to Arsenal, the famous back four with Tony Adams, Winterburn, Dixon, Manchester United, obviously, when they dominated. You go back to Chelsea when they had John Terry, Carvalho, Ashley Cole. You don't win anything unless you've got a solid defence. And we've seen that this year with Liverpool. They've got the best back 5 now in probably world football. And if you've got a solid defence that keeps clean sheets, then it's proved over the years that you've got to winning leagues.
Yeah, solid it is. Which player, talking of target men, talking of back 5s, which player did you find it particularly hard to face up against for whatever reason in your career?
I always say there was 3. It was Thierry Henry when he was at Arsenal, Ronaldo at Man United, and Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer was exceptionally tough. Yeah, them 3 were tough.
Yeah, I feel like they probably need no introduction, or it doesn't need me to ask you to explain any further why those 3 were pretty tough to face. What about deliveries into the box? Because we just saw Robertson on the ball there, and of course his and Trent's service into the forwards has been invaluable this season for you. Whose crossing ability as a goalkeeper was just an absolute nightmare in the period during the Premier League?
David Beckham. He could just do anything with the ball. He could drill it, he could whip it, he could dip it. He just did everything. Yeah. So when he was lining up for free kicks or for crossing, then he used to take a deep breath just before he crossed it.
Few good
Oh
names
my
there
God.
at the top of the show. Sam, give us a breakdown of the first 5 minutes. Has any patterns emerged?
Chelsea are playing all right. I think we're trying to get a lot of the possession as usual. The only thing is, the only struggle that we've had is that when the ball comes over to our back line, Zuma and Rudiger have moments of just panic, and those are the moments that scare me, especially at playing against a team like Liverpool where they're so dangerous on the break. If we can stop that, then I think we will dominate possession, because that's something that Lampard loves doing this season.
Yeah, let's see if that comes to fruition then, because Liverpool on the attack now. Mo Salah looking for a foul. Chris, what did you think to that? Anything in it?
There's a chance there. Go on. I think I don't think so. I think it was just body check, but nothing in it for me. Putting a lot of pressure on now.
I thought we were going to be talking to Chris Kirkland's neck then for that segment. That was your cat-like reflexes.
I got a bit excited there.
Chris. That was, flash from the past. You're off your line, mate. That was like someone's taking a penalty in your living room.
Yeah,
you're just a blur.
Well, listen, I've always supported Liverpool. My first game was in 1988, so I was 7 years old when I used to go up to Anfield and stand in the Kop. So, yeah, I've not just played for them. I've always supported Liverpool. So I get a little bit passionate when I see them play.
No, we love it. We love to see the guests sit forward and get invested in the game. You were born in Barwell, though, which is my neck of the woods, from Leicester. So how come you never supported the Foxes?
Well, my family were all Leicester fans, but it wasn't until I seen Liverpool on the TV with the old candy kit, red kit, and I just thought, I want to support them. It was the draw of the red kit, and then my dad took me up to Anfield, and that was me sold.
Sam, take us through the opportunity. Mason Mount perhaps should do better there, mate.
Yeah, Alonso switched the ball perfectly to Reece James. Willian overlapped. He passed it back to Reece James. He put in a delicious ball for Mount, and he just hit it over the bar. But it was good. It was a good move. It was a good move. He should have scored. Should have scored. Not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna stick it on him too much, because he's been quality. But next chance, Mount, I'm on to you.
Yeah, this game started at a good pace, actually. Both teams getting in and around, each other's boxes early doors. Long may it continue. Plenty to play for, like we said. And like we said at the start of the show, if you've got a question for Chris Kirkland, we're going to find people get in touch.
Yes, get in touch. Hashtag TFS at Football Daily at Soccer AM. Sorry, Chris. There was a question there. Your internet cut out a little bit there, and there was actually a question on that from Pidge. He said, "What's more likely to go down, Watford or Hamill's internet connection?" But we won't answer that one, because I think we know the answer. We'll go to Chris Kirkland next. Chris, we'll start with you. On Kepa, Chelsea have been linked with Jan Oblak quite heavily. Obviously, it would cost an arm and a leg to get him, but just talk me through how good of a keeper he is.
Oh, he's been superb for Atletico Madrid. Expensive. There's been a lot of talk over the last few years. I mean, there was talk with Liverpool buying him before Alisson, but you're going to be talking a lot of money. I mean, the trouble with Chelsea now is they've spent 70 million on Kepa. What do they do? Do they go out and spend another 75, 80 million on another guy? And if they do that, they're going to have to let go half that. So they've got to. I think Frank will probably stick with him and try and get him through next season, but bring somebody in that can put a bit more pressure on him than Caballero can. Sorry. So I think he will try and do something in the market, but I can't see them going out and spending 70, 80 million on Oblak. I just can't see it.
Yeah, Jan Oblak is going to be in high demand this year, isn't he? Linked with a host of tops, with rumours he's seeking pastures new from Atletico Madrid. He's kept an unbelievable amount of clean sheets in La Liga, hasn't he? Chris, do you have your eyes on any other goalkeepers out there that we might not know about from the sort of lower reaches of English football? Anyone you think can step up potentially?
It's tough. I mean, listen, obviously the one's Dean Henderson at Sheffield United. There's a lot of talk of him, obviously, going back to United. The Hayer's not in the great form, but it's tough. You know, no disrespect to Sheffield United. I mean, they've had a great season, but going back to Man United, that's going to be an interesting one next season. Can he push the Hayer? Can he get in the team and can he perform? Because, you know, you're talking about one of the biggest clubs, you know, in the world with Man United. So that's going to be interesting what happens next season there. There's a lot of good goalkeepers, though, a lot of good English goalkeepers. Nick Pope at Burnley, he's been superb. You know, will Chelsea go for him? There's a strong shout they might go for him, English goalkeeper. So I think he could move possibly in the summer. I think Chelsea would probably be in for him, Nick, definitely.
Sam, would you take Nick Pope at Chelsea?
Yeah, I would actually. I think he's a consistent keeper. He wouldn't be my first choice, but if we're trying to save money or no one's trying to do a Kepa plus cash deal, then yeah, I guess Pope would be a good option. But like I said earlier, I would love for us to get someone like Oblak or Onana from Ajax. I think he's quality, and I think he's not looking for a move. But if a good team comes in for him and a good price comes, I think Ajax will be willing to sell him.
Okay, good stuff. Will, have we got any questions coming in from Social Corner?
Yes, Chris, obviously you're a massive Liverpool fan as well, and obviously they're just about to pick up the Premier League trophy, but thoughts are moving on to next season. For you, is there any areas that you'd like to see Liverpool spend for in the transfer market?
Yeah, I think we need another left back, just somebody for some competition for Andy Robertson. Go on. Oh. Yeah, I think we need a left back. Sorry, I'm getting there. Yeah, I think we need a left back, some competition for Andy Robertson if he gets injured. And I also think we need another striker. Origi, for the goals he scored some amazing goals, really important goals. But I think we need a top class striker to fill the boots of the front three if they're not firing. So I expect a defender and a striker to come in the summer.
So, Chris, you obviously left Coventry when you... Mo Salah breaking into the box there. Not quite
mate. Come on, Salah, let's not do that. Let's not do that, Salah.
Salah wants a penalty. The ref's not having it. Sam isn't having it.
Give him a card for that. Ref, give him a card for that.
He's crazy, Sam.
Come on. That's a penalty. That's weak. Chris, if that was against you,
he's blocked him off. Fuming. He's blocked him off.
You'd be fuming.
It's a straight red for Rudiger, that, isn't
it? Right, just going back to the question then, Chris. So obviously you moved from Coventry when you're a young prodigy. How hard is it dealing with these expectations when you move, you know, to a club of Liverpool's stature? Any of these transfers that do come in?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I just said when I was younger, it didn't faze me at all. I just wanted to get up there, I wanted to train. But there is obviously now, I mean, the price differences now when people sign for the top clubs, you know, you're talking big fees. And they've got to start off well. You look at Alisson, Van Dijk, 150 million. They've been the difference. That's why they're going to win the league this year. Andy Robertson, when he first come to Liverpool, 10 million, really struggled in and out of the team. Now he's the best left back in the world. So you've got to start well. When you go to big teams for a lot of money, you've got to hit the ground running, and it makes things a lot easier if you do. You know, we all know fans obviously get frustrated, and when there's big price tags involved, players are easy targets if they don't perform straight away. So you've got to start off well.
I mean, you touched upon it there, sort of hitting the ground running. When you displaced Jersey Dudek from the Liverpool side, you of course played 14 consecutive games, kept clean sheets in almost half of them, and then had an injury, and you managed to displace Dudek again, sort of later on down the line. But how was, how?
There we go again.
Sort of run out of patience with you.
Sorry, what was that again? I missed that.
Oh! Has he gone? Do you want me to pick it?
No, he's there. He's there. He's there. We can, because you're moving. Say something.
Chris, I think what my other Chris was trying to say, not my other Chris, he doesn't belong to me, he's a great friend of mine. Chris, what I think he was trying to say was obviously when you replace Dudek, was it down to you not getting in the side, was it obviously back down to the injuries that you suffered? Much for me and you now, Sam. We don't know each other that well, but we might have a good night tonight. I can pretend to be a Liverpool fan.
I don't mind. We can do this. I see Chris blinking though. Is that just me?
There you go. I've got it now. Yeah, just missed the end of that one there.
Ah, yes.
Right. Let's just right. There's three of us here. We're brothers in arms. We're going to get through this. It's Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chris, let's just stick with it. What have you made of the first 16 minutes?
I think pretty even. Chelsea, the teams, I think they're just trying to sniff each other out. Possible penalty there for Salah for me. I think Rudiger's blocked him off. Yeah, I'm going to say that. But yeah, pretty even game at the minute. As I said, they're just trying to outwit each other, trying to get control of the game. But yeah, very even start.
Sam, we were catching up just before when we were watching the United West Ham game. What are your thoughts on that? Them dropping points again. You sort of, if you can get a result here, pole position.
Yeah, no, I thought they could have lost that game, but the Greenwood, the Golden Boy, is just on form right now. So I'm happy that they drew. I feel like that's put a bit less pressure on us as well, because we're good under pressure, but at the same time we're playing the best team in the world right now. So the less pressure, the better for us, and we're playing quite well, to be honest. So I feel we can get a result from this.
And what do you think going into that final day? Obviously, you've got Wolves. That's a huge game in itself. They've sort of been a bit inconsistent since Project Restart, but are you confident of getting the result and keeping it in your hands?
Yeah. Especially if we get a point or get 3 points here, I think we can get at least a point at Wolves, because they're a good side, but the way they play, I feel like Lamps kind of has his numbers, has Nuno's number as well, because when we played them at the beginning of the season, we wiped them, and everyone thought when we were going into that game that it was going to be a struggle. Obviously, they've kind of developed over the months, but I still think we can get a win there.
And obviously, it's been a crazy season as well, isn't it? Because, I mean, I was quite critical at the start of the season. I didn't think Chelsea would get anywhere near the Champions League places. Did you have much hope going into the season?
I did, because Lamps obviously he's just had one season with Derby, but at the same time, the winning mentality is in his blood. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's in Chelsea's blood as well. So the fact that he took over and the team kind of bought into what he was trying to do, and you could tell from the first week, even though we lost 4-0 on the first game, like you could see what you were trying to do with the team. And after I watched that, even though it was hard because I had people like Joe in my ear, I had other United fans in my ear, I was confident. And now look, we're in the FA Cup final. We're basically gonna get Champions League football, fingers crossed. And yeah, we're in a good position. We've signed a few good players, and Lampard and Cech have been pivotal in us signing Werner and Ziyech, and even us being linked with Havertz. The fact that there's rumours that personal agreements already been confirmed just because of the conversation he's having with Lampard. Like, Lampard's a legend, man. Like, I'm telling you, next few years, remember this point. Next few years, we're gonna win the Premier League under Lampard, innit? We're gonna win the Premier League.
How many years, Sam? How many years?
Ooh,
This is what I want to know.
3 in the next 3 years.
Right.
We will win the Premier
Sam
League.
Obaseki, 3 years.
This is how I have to come back into the show. Sam Obaseki announcing that Chelsea are going to win the Premier League in the next 3 years.
I
want to disconnect again.
You got to be confident.
I want my internet to bottom out right now because I don't even know how to deal with that statement. As long as Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola are in this country, Frank Lampard does not have a chance. And if you want to check the link in the description below, I have started a Kickstarter to get me some new internet. So let's all chip in and hopefully I can finish a stream before the end of the season without ducking out. Let's just start anew. I was asking Chris Kirkland something, but you gentlemen had to carry the show for the next minute. Let's go to Social Corner. Just a nice little reset, gents.
Yeah, let's ease it back in, Chris. There's one here from LZeb, and it's for you, Chris Kirkland. He says, should Henderson be given the number 1 spot at Manchester United next season?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, he's had a great season, obviously, at Sheffield United. He's going to go back pre-season, and I think it'll be who's performing better pre-season. So, obviously, De Gea's got major competition now. His form's obviously been questionable over the last couple of months. So, I expect Dean Henderson to put big pressure on him pre-season. Whoever's performing, within pre-season, within training, I think we'll get the nod next season. But listen, let's not forget, De Gea has played over 400 games for Man U. Player of the season, countless times. You don't play 400 times for Man U if you're a bad goalkeeper. So I still expect him to be number 1. And maybe Henderson after pre-season, if he's not got the number 1 jersey, I probably would thought he would go out on loan again. But yeah, I think De Gea's still got a good few seasons in him yet.
What's happening to his confidence as well? Because his form's a bit sporadic as Chris Hamill's internet, really, isn't it, Chris? What do you think? Where's it gone wrong?
It's better than that.
Go on.
Oh my God!
Yes!
Wow! What a hit!
Oh, come on.
What a goal!
I was here to witness that with you boys. Mine's in 8-bit, but it still looks like a good goal.
I saw a foul in that build-up.
Can you describe the goal to us, Sam Obaseki, mate?
Oh my gosh, Willian dispossessed on the edge of his box. Yeah, Keita took the ball off him. Yeah, and then just walloped it, and it's gone. It's beating Kepa, and it was down the middle. I can't lie, Kepa. I'm not gonna say anything mad, but it was down the middle. It was kind of down the middle, and he just seems like he doesn't get moving quick enough. It was a good strike, but still, man. I don't want to
Mr. Kirkland, that looked a little bit more central than when he took the shot, that replay. Do you put any of the onus on Kepa there, or is that just an unreal strike?
Listen, it's a brilliant strike. There's a lot of pace in it, obviously, but yeah, he'll be disappointed. It looks as though he's not pushed off. He's not pushed off his legs. He's not got high enough. It sort of looks like he's just dived backwards a little bit. Yeah, I think he'll be disappointed with that. It was a great strike, though. A lot of pace on it, but you'd expect your keeper to get closer to that, definitely.
Williams.
We're just watching the replay now as the water break. As we've stopped for a water break, it does look like a case of dodgy positioning. He's not got off the ground like Chris said, but Liverpool do find themselves ahead. And if things stay as they are, they will be securing that club record 31st victory. Is it booting off in the comments? Will, is it booting off in the Championship? Give us an overview.
I'll be booting off, Chris, because Blues are losing 1-0 down to Derby, and we're just about on the brink of relegation. But West Brom are going really, really strong now in the second half. It's 1-1. They're in pole position, so if they score another goal, it's guaranteed for them to be in the Premier League. As the ball goes across, and there's a goal right on cue. It's not the commentator's curse, it's the opposite to that, but I don't know what it's called. West Brom have scored. The Baggies are boing it back to the Premier League as Cal Robinson celebrates in front of nobody. West Brom 2, the other team 1. QPR 1. It's been a long night, Chris.
QPR
10
aren't
games
in the
of football
race.
to watch.
They're not in the race for promotion, Will. So we'll forgive you.
That's the
I'm interested to see how
team.
Dejan Garner gets on, though, Will. Dejan Garner has been starring, hasn't he, on loan at West Brom from West Ham.
Yeah.
So keep me updated. I think he can make an impression in the Premier League next season. Oh, lovely jubbly. There we go. Who's making an impression for you here, though, Chris Kirkland? Who's performing well for Liverpool in this opening 25 minutes or so?
It's pretty steady, really. I mean, Keita's one player. I mean, he come for a lot of money, over £50 million. It's been very stop-start for him. When he's got in the league, he's got knocks, he's got injuries, but he's a top draw player. You know, he gives that injection of pace. I mean, his goals are, it's a brilliant strike. Kepa should do better, though. But it's great to see him getting it. I think he needs a run of games. I think when he comes in and out of the team, I'm not sure it suits him. He needs to play regularly. But we certainly miss Jordan Henderson. I said it before the game started. I think everyone realises now what a captain we've got and just how big a role he plays for Liverpool.
Yeah, that actually brings us back nicely to the question I was asking you before my internet completely blew up. Of course, you broke into the Liverpool side, had a 14 games on the bounce before becoming injured again. Just how hard is it to break back into a side, a top 4, top 6 side, when you've not got that little bit of luck, when you're not staying fit, as is the case with Keita?
Yeah, it's tough, especially when you have serious injuries. It knocks the stuffing out of you. Obviously now there's a lot more medical, sports science and stuff like that. But yeah, when you're playing at the top and when, the pace is so, the pace of the game, everything like that, it takes a while to get back up and running. So any serious injuries, it can knock the stuffing out of you and take you a long time to get back. And we've seen that with Keita. He's been in and out of the team, but he has shown some brilliant glimpses when he is fit and, he's shown what he can do. And he just needs to get a consistent run of games, next season and now the best of him, definitely.
Yeah, you've already touched upon being fearless sort of in your early 20s, but how did you deal with those injuries, those recurrent injuries when they came about, Chris?
I think they catch up with you when you get older. When you're younger, you think you're invincible. You can shake things off, and you can to a certain extent. But when you get a serious injury, your body's never the same again. And when you get over 30, into your 30s, that's when the aches and pains from previous injuries start to kick in. So it is, you're never quite the same again. Go on, he's in again. Go on.
Oh, good. Good challenge.
Firmino choosing to square the ball rather than strike after a great move down the right where Mo Salah put his strike partner in. You say he's not a striker, Sam. Would you not take him at Chelsea, Firmino?
No way. Like the thing is, I appreciate what he does for Liverpool, yeah. But no one can tell me that they would prefer a striker to do what he does than a striker that bags 25 plus goals a season. Like you can't tell me that you would prefer that because fair enough he's doing well, but when they're not playing well, you want that striker to come up clutch in those moments. He doesn't, and I feel like that's an area like Chris said earlier that they're definitely gonna have to strengthen next year, man.
But what if it's his play that's facilitating the wingers scoring 20 goals apiece each?
Oh, go on.
But I hear that, yeah.
Do you not buy it?
That's not the role. That's not the role of a striker. Like there's strike, and the thing is, it would be different if he doesn't get the opportunities. He does have opportunities to score goals, but for your striker to not score at your home pitch for the whole is it the whole season so far or something? It's a mad stat that he hasn't scored at Anfield this year, and that's mad. Like that's mad.
So do you think that's an area that Liverpool are likely to strengthen? Chris, you might have touched upon it already, but how disappointed were you that the likes of Timo Werner chose Chelsea over Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean, strange one because if you've got the choice, do you go to the Champions League winners and the Premier League winners? They might not net the price. I'm not sure what. Go on, you in? Go on. Oh, yeah. We're not too sure what happened there with Werner, obviously, but Chelsea have done a great deal for him. But yeah, we definitely need a striker. But that stat again about not scoring at home all season, and I think it's goes way over a year now to not score at Anfield. I mean, that for the type of player he is and the calibre of player, that's just incredible. I mean, obviously he scored loads of goals away from home and he's set up loads of goals, but I'm amazed that he's not scored at home in that long. It's if you'd have said that a year ago, people would have laughed at you.
Of course, he does have the chance to arrest that slump in form tonight. Corner comes in. Fine out at the back post, who always seems to be free, to be fair, in the box. Although, sometimes he does miss gilt-edged chances. But making space for himself again. And, okay, let's go to socials then, Will. Now, Chelsea have been flagged for offside.
Oh, everyone okay? Cool.
Calm down. Calm down.
West Brom QPR, Chris, absolutely going off over it. There was actually a keeper, Chris, which you'd seen it, you'd have been disgusted at. But West Brom are winning 2-1 over here.
I thought he was on about Chelsea's offside.
I was, but I was trying to cover it up with the West Brom game. But yeah, Chris, lots of questions coming in thick and fast for you. Lots of goalkeeper-related ones. And a man that's been getting loads and loads of stick this season is Jordan Pickford. For you, who would you like to see as England's number one for the Euros next year?
Well, it's a tough one. I worked with Jordan. I was with Jordan at Preston for a year. And he was outstanding. He really was. He was superb. I think he's got to sort of calm himself down a bit. I think he's getting too engaged with the crowd at times. I think he gets too worked up on the pitch. I think you need to be a lot more calmer, particularly when you're playing for England. But for me, still, I think Jordan's still number one. But obviously, he's going to have a lot of pressure now. Nick Pope, Dean Henderson, but they're all young goalkeepers, which is great for England. We've got some real top draw goalkeepers now, so they'll all put each other under pressure, and it comes down to again next season who starts well, who performs well. We'll get the number one spot for England.
Chris, towards the end of your career, were you surprised how much you enjoyed sort of working with younger goalkeepers? Of course, a role at Liverpool's women's team as well. So how has that side of things been progressing into coaching?
I've enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously the women's football was a great learning curve for me. You still train the same, you treat them no different to you would do the men. They train the same. Obviously the levels of fitness and the sharpness is not the same as men's. But it was a brilliant experience for me to do that. I love working with younger keepers. I've got my own goalkeeper academy now. Work with 8-year-olds up to 18-year-olds. So I love doing that. And obviously now I'm in Colne FC, so non-league football. Looking forward to getting stuck into that.
Yeah, good stuff. And okay. Right, sorry, I just thought I was disconnecting again there, but we'll move forward. Sam, how's the last 3 or 4 minutes in play been? Have Chelsea settled now following the tumultuous period after that goal? No,
we haven't settled, and it's getting scary now because it's like every time the ball comes over the top, we just look nervous. Obviously, I think Salah had a good one successful dribble, and I think that's just shaking the defence now. Everyone's panicking a little bit, but at the same time, we're still trying to play. I just need a bit more consistency at the back, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, would you take? You are an exciting team to watch. A porous team, like we said. I think that's 43 goals conceded now, quite possibly. If I can find the stat, I'll read it off. But do you think you need a bit more solidity in the midfield? Is Jorginho going to be able to be that man, or do you think you need a replacement for him?
I don't think we should look at the midfield at all, to be honest. I think the defence is the area that we need to sort out. We've kind of already made good signings in our front line with Ziyech and Werner, but now in our back line we need a new left back. We need a few centre backs, and that's not saying that centre backs we have aren't great or not. I wouldn't say they're not good enough, but I feel like a lot of them, like for example, Rudiger is good at certain things that Christensen isn't. And Christensen is good at certain things that Rudiger isn't. Like, we don't have a centre-back that is just good at everything, commanding like Van Dijk or Koulibaly or Laporte. We need one of those players to kind of shore up our back line, because it raises my anxiety watching our back line sometimes.
Yeah, defensive issues all along that spine for sure, starting with Kepa, who does feel, like Chris said earlier, like he's already on his last chance. Let's go over to Will now for an update.
Oh,
who
my
sounds
God.
like a cockerel.
Well, Chris, speaking of wonder kids, Abire Eze has absolutely smacked one top bins outside of his boot. He's lobbed the keeper, but with pace. So it's 2-2 at the Hawthorns. And Chris, as the famous song goes, don't you know, pump it up. The Blues are staying up. Ivan Šunjic has equalised at St Andrews, which should make us secure. Currently, I think it's Wigan and Charlton and Hull that would be going down points deduction pending. But Abire Eze has done a madness at the Hawthorns, and it's over to Brentford and Fulham now to see what they can do to get back to the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know how much you know about Eze, Will, but I'm hearing great things, emerge from the Championship, and he's been linked with moves to a couple of Premier League sides, hasn't he? Tottenham in particular. Everton are supposedly interested, but they will literally buy anyone and everyone.
Oh!
Yeah!
Just paused for a moment there because Alexander-Arnold has scored another free kick, but it looked like it got a deflection. Chris Kirkland is looking towards the heavens, possibly just his TV mounted on the wall, but still. Chris, take us through this goal, buddy. Oh, it didn't get a deflection.
Brilliant. I mean, it didn't get a deflection. It's got great pace on it, great whip. We've seen him do this before. Keeper's got no chance. Keeper's absolutely no chance. The pace on the ball, the dip, the curl. Might have took a slight deflection, actually. Maybe a slight deflection. But yeah, the keeper's got no chance.
Yeah, there was an element of unnatural sort of movement, but what a finish. Yeah. His fourth goal this season. It is his best scoring season in the Premier League so far. And he just seems to get more dangerous from those situations with every passing week. And half of Sam's torso has disappeared from frame, which must mean he is slumped. Sam, how are you feeling, buddy?
Oh, it's two mistakes. First of all, Willian loses the ball for the first goal. Then this second goal, Kovacic, I think he slightly touches the ball, but it's just a last-ditch tackle that you shouldn't be making in those areas. We do this to ourselves. We do it to ourselves, and it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. But Liverpool, they're playing really well, man. In the final third, they're looking... and you score the next goal, then it could get mad. And we don't want it to get mad.
Yeah, I feel like this could get ugly. But before we bring in the doom and gloom on Sam, let's go to Social Corner. Have we got any more questions for Chris? 7 minutes out from half-time, Will.
Yeah, lots of questions flying in. If you want to get involved, use the hashtag TFS at Football Daily, at SoccerAM, and I'll try and read the best ones while I don't lose my head. Chris, of the current Premier League defenders that are playing in the Premier League, who would be your dream back four to play in front of? And that's from Cryptic Vivid.
Great question.
Easy. Liverpool back four, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, you can only have one
Trent.
from each club.
Well, that's an easy question. Oh,
What about that?
that is tough.
Stick a little
Obviously, I think
permutation
you'd take Van Dijk. No, I'm not having that. I'm having Liverpool's back four. End of.
I'm not going to argue with a man that did look like he could knock me out. So, Chris, Liverpool back four it is.
Love that. What have you made of Manchester City having to deploy central midfielders in their back four at any point? Of course, that has been a large part of why they struggled. But as a goalkeeper, did you have a heightened sense of appreciation for what Fernandinho and Rodri did at certain points, Chris?
Yeah, but listen, they didn't replace Company. If they've got any chance of winning the league next year, they need to go out and sign 2 centre-backs. Definitely. They need to go out and strengthen defence. You don't win anything. You can have all the best players, the flair players, scoring goals, but if you've not got a solid defence, you won't win things. So they've got a big summer ahead of them. They need to go and get 2 centre-backs for me, 2 top-quality centre-backs. And if they do that, we all know what they're capable of going forward. They're an exceptional team. And if they do get them defenders, then they'll be a lot closer to Liverpool next season.
I would say Laporte is good enough to make it into that Liverpool back line. Would you agree, Chris?
Sorry, what was that?
Would you agree that Aymeric Laporte is good enough to make it into Liverpool's back line? Having just picked Liverpool's whole back line for the previous question.
He would be the one possibly. He's an outstanding player. But yeah, listen, I wouldn't swap anyone in Liverpool's back line for any other defender. But he certainly is a standout player for City. But he needs somebody to come in. He needs somebody else to come in alongside him at centre back.
For sure, Sam. If you're going to play crosses into the box as Plan A, with Giroud featuring in your side, they've got to be better than that, right?
Yeah, it's just not looking. Oh my gosh, not looking good, lads. Wake up, please. I'm on a stream and I don't want to be embarrassed right now, and you're doing that to me, boys. It's not working out. It's not working out. Mount is not a natural wide man. Mount is not a natural wide man, so I think he's struggling. Not struggling, but his final ball into the box hasn't been great. They're not feeding Giroud at all, but it's just not good enough. All round, it's not good enough at all. We need half time to happen. Like now, oh my gosh, is that handball? Oh my gosh, it's in. It's in.
Go on!
Wow.
Gini Wijnaldum, the coolest man in Anfield, not even celebrating his goal. There we have it. Oh, great work in the gallery. Sam is slowly disappearing from frame. Another goal, and we'll just see forehead. Chris Kirkland loving life. Absolutely fantastic here. Gini Wijnaldum barely even celebrated.
Get him back in.
Barely even celebrated, Chris. Are Liverpool finding this too easy? Is it surprisingly easy for them out there?
Easy. It is at the minute. I mean, 3-0 up at half time. Easy.
Oh. Sam, I was just going to ask you about
finishes, got to say. Maybe the first one.
Yeah, sure. Great finishes, like Chris said. Sam, I was going to ask you about how Kai Havertz fits into this system. I'll give you 30 seconds to compose yourself. We'll go over to Will, who's just made another sort of little animal noise for an update on some Championship football.
Yet again, it's a recurring theme of me on the Football Social. I've been done by the replay, sorry. It's still 2-2. West Brom are going up. They are 2 points clear of Brentford. But that just, at the end of the day, guys, it just shows the production work that Sky Sports do and a great company to work for because there's some great replays flying around. But West Brom's still getting the Premier League.
Oh, wow. That happened last week with Brad Friedel. I just realised I've had back-to-back goalkeepers on. We had Brad Friedel on last week, Chris. What did you make of his goalkeeping prowess in his career? What a man, eh?
Oh, legend. Yeah, brilliant. When he was at Blackburn, obviously, many appearances for them. He was a solid keeper.
Yeah, definitely one of my favourite guests, Uncle Brad, as we refer to him now. Best friends by the end of the stream. And it could be the case here, we could be a good luck charm, Chris. Liverpool winning 3-0. I think Jermaine Pennant has watched Liverpool lose on the Football Social either. So normally when we have a Liverpool-related guest on, it goes their way. And Sam, all the joy has been sucked out of your face, buddy. Can you answer now about Kai Havertz? Are you in the mood?
I just want to scream. I'm not even going to lie to you. I just want to scream. No, but I'm trying to remain composed because Chris is on the stream and I don't want to be professional. But right now, the boys are not doing good enough. They're not doing good enough. I don't want to talk about Havertz and people that are coming in. The players that are on the pitch right now aren't doing good enough. They're not doing good enough. You know that Liverpool are going to come on a madness. So be prepared. You cannot let
Sam,
these men just walk it in.
Sam, is this a hangover from the FA Cup?
I don't even know what to call it, bro. I don't know what to call it. Because I was thinking, we're going to be a bit more comfortable with 5 at the back. We've got 5 at the back and you're conceding 3 before half-time, lads. Do you want to see me cry? Oh, man.
Sam, that is actually our half-time feature. Sam crying. Will, go on, update us, buddy.
Yes, Brentford have equalised. It is a goal. It's not a replay. Brentford have equalised. Well, let me do the calculations, Chris, as I work out the sums. I only got a C in mathematics at GCSE level, but they are still not going. They still need another goal. So yeah, West Brom still going up, but Brentford back in it.
And the Championship action is kicking off so much that Will went slightly out of focus there. That is how mental the Championship is. He is actually distorting his very person. I've got a Chris Kirkland related quiz for us here to carry us over until half time, because clearly Sam does not want to talk anymore. We can only see half of his face now on the stream. Okay, it's an excellent question actually from the guys in the gallery.
Oh my God!
So Chris Kirkland.
Oh no!
Keeper error. Get on it, Chris.
Let's go. Get the ball.
Where's that come from?
Flipping it. I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. I feel like my eyes are blurry right now, bro. I'm so angry. Mount put in a ball. It got deflected by. Wait, where did that come from? Okay, fair enough. Mount put in a ball, it got deflected up. I think Willian struck it, but it got another deflection, looped over Alisson. Oh, Alisson made a save, and then Giroud just tapped it in. Oh, boys, at least it's not gonna. At least he scored, you know. He scored.
I mean,
less of a deficit.
Liverpool was so comfortable then. I was about to bust out a Chris Kirkland related quiz about Premier League assists. We'll get to that. Don't worry, it's too good not to ask. But that goal coming from nowhere, Sam, and it might give Chelsea a lifeline. Okay, that is half time. We can have some live pictures from the ground. We have got a bit of a treat for you. We've got a video with Jurgen Klopp that we can go to very shortly. But what a lifeline for Chelsea heading into the half at Anfield. A scrappy goal, but they'll take it nonetheless because they were getting humiliated prior to that. Liverpool carving them open at will. Chris Kirkland, rumour has it, he fell asleep at one point. Such was the lack of competition in this game. Get your questions in for him. We'll be fielding them to Chris Kirkland throughout the second half. But guys, right now, we can hear from Jurgen Klopp.
We are, since 5 match days or so, champion, which is completely special. And guard of honor before each game, all the things we are not used to. Then you win a game, great. You lose a game, not great. So I would never underestimate a defeat. But we cannot forget that we won the league in a pretty exceptional manner.
I watched back your press conference and you said, if we're ready to be patient, if we're ready to work hard, this could be the start of something special. Did you see a day like you're about to experience coming?
I'm not that much a dreamer, no. I knew it could be possible, but in that moment I didn't think about the other teams really in the league, and then you realize then the real quality and the intensity and the differences of a league only when you are in it. So in this moment, when I said I was convinced that we have a chance to improve, because the position we were in were obviously not perfect. Some changes, some adjustments, some signings later, it looked like we are pretty competitive. And thankfully the people gave us time, because without that we had no chance, because we needed. It really started like probably with losing the Champions League final, because it gave us on one side a belief we can win things. And on the other side, of course, we have to improve some things, and the boys were ready for that, and so we could make it.
First place in the Premier League does go to Manchester City, leaving Liverpool, who have also been magnificent, the most remarkable of all runners-up ever.
You've won and you've won and you've won. You've been put under relentless pressure by one of the best Premier League teams ever, and yet it wasn't enough. How did you improve and go again?
Playing the season we played, yes, I would say unlucky, because you can say it was 1 point, but if you go more in detail, then it was 11 millimeters. That's how it is. Yeah. But now we say always, we lose games, but if you lose them and don't learn from it, then you have a real problem. If you learn from them, they can be really important. And this was a big defeat for us, of course. But we had 3 weeks later the opportunity to win the Champions League final, and we did. Obviously, that helped as well to get over this defeat. But then we started the league again, and it was clear, as long as Man City is around, you have to be perfect.
Bill Shankly once said, the league title is our bread and butter. At what point did you turn your attention to the Premier League? At what point did you think, I want that for me, for the club?
We had to, and we said that, and we want to do it. And the boys will remember that forever. We decided for ourselves, we have to write our own story, we have to create our own history. And obviously, the last 14 months, winning 4 of the big trophies is exceptional. And on Wednesday night, we will cherish that 100%.
Do you think it's more special being a champion with Liverpool because of the history that we see all around us, and because of the weight as well for this trophy?
Yeah, it was maybe the most difficult challenge you could face in European football, to do it with all the desire and what everybody felt, obviously, to win it one day. We will not stop. We will try and try, but how long, like we always did. But at least on Wednesday night, we have to make it a special moment just for us.
Yes, the words there of Jurgen Klopp as I chow down on my favourite chocolate bar, Milky Bar, but the white chocolate is available. Chris, what a job Jurgen Klopp's been doing.
He's incredible. He really is. He's and not just for Liverpool fans. I think you ask any football fan, they absolutely love Jurgen. You know, he's so passionate. He's embraced the club. He treats everybody the same as well, no matter who you are. You know, whether you're taking the bins out at Melwood or whatever, he treats everyone exactly the same. He's got time for everybody, and he's a special manager and a special person, and we are extremely lucky to have him at our club.
What have your interactions been like with him, obviously, around Melwood?
Oh, incredible. He's just, so respectful. I've took my daughter down there a few times as well, and she was gobsmacked when he come and sat next to her for lunch, and he's just got this way about him that he just makes everybody feel great, makes everyone feel comfortable, and he's got he's always smiling, no matter when you see him. He's just an incredible human being, and as I said, hopefully he'll be at Liverpool for many more years to come yet.
A little birdie tells me as well your daughter's got a promising football career on the horizon as well.
She's doing well. She's a goalkeeper, so she loves it. She's football mad. So she's not doing too bad at all at the minute. Obviously, just getting back into it after obviously COVID-19, but she loves going to the games, loves watching Liverpool. That's sort of our thing, going together. But she's obsessed with football.
Just back to Jurgen, it was mentioned there in the interview and the job he's done, but how hard is it with the weight of expectation and the weight of 30 years to do what he's done?
Well, it's been bubbling the last two years, probably. You know, we've seen obviously they won the Champions League last year. It's been bubbling up. He's completely changed the club round, the philosophy. It's gone back to the old school days. He's brought all the fans back together. All the players are together. A brilliant dressing room. Put some top players into that dressing room. He's just done an equal job. But then you still need, obviously, you need some luck, but you need a manager that can get the best out of players. And you see the way he treats players, the way he talks to players. Everybody wants to play for him, and not just at Liverpool. You ask him any player at a lot of other clubs as well if they want to play for Jurgen Klopp, and I'd be amazed if most of them didn't say yes.
So, who for you? Let's have a look at your career. Who was the best manager that you played under?
There was two. Gerard Hulley was brilliant, and Steve Bruce. When I was at Wigan, that's probably the best I've played during my career. When Steve Bruce was manager at Wigan, he just had this knack as well, and man management. Because it's not just about what the managers do on the pitch and tactically; it's how they treat players off the pitch and man manage players. You know, you've got a whole different people in the dressing room, different nationalities. And you've got to be able to bring them all together, and Steve Bruce just had that knack of doing that.
We've had so many players on the show. We've been so fortunate, and every player who's played under Steve Bruce has said that he's their favourite manager. Is it just that down to that man management that you mentioned?
It is, yeah. Just and he's been very successful as well. I mean, obviously, he had a brilliant playing career with Manchester United, won countless leagues, FA Cups. You know, he's got a lot of promotions from the Championship. You know, there was talk, could he do it in the Premier League? He took Wigan up to 9th, 10th position after we were involved in relegation battles, you know, for a few years before that. CV's superb, and it's just the way he connects with people, the way he talks to players, that players will give everything they've got for him.
Many people writing him off, obviously, with this takeover talk at Newcastle that's been ongoing for ages now, but with everything that you've said and everything that we've learned about Steve Bruce, you think he should be given a chance under this new ownership?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I find it amazing. You know, when he got sacked at Aston Villa, there were 2 points outside the playoff position. In the Championship, he got sacked, which I found amazing. But yeah, he should be given, you know, he finds bargains as well. It'd be interesting now if Newcastle do get taken over and they have got a few quid. You know, just exactly what he can do. Who can he go out and get and spend a few pounds on? Because he's never really had that before. It's always been bargain buys. So, yeah, listen, he's the man for Newcastle, and Newcastle need to realise how lucky they are to have him.
Sam is back in the building, a wry smile on his face after that Giroud goal. Sam, have you got much hope for this second half?
Hey, yeah. You know what? It's been an interesting season. We've had our ups and downs. I wouldn't be shocked if we came back and it was a 3-3 or 4-3 win. I'm wearing the top right now that says no matter what, never give up. I'm going to show that if we come back. Yeah, but apart from that, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
What about the subs bench? Is there any tactical changes that you'd make?
I'd like to see Pulisic on. I think Willian's not really had a good half, so I think maybe giving Willian a rest, put Pulisic on to trouble them. I don't think they've really been troubled down the wings. So if he comes on, I think he'll make a positive change.
He's back for an unspecified amount of time. Hello, gentlemen. Sorry, I just felt like taking a longer loo break at half time, Chris Kirkland. I apologise for my unprofessionalism. Yeah, let's do the quiz. Let's use this opportunity to bring back the Chris Kirkland assist-related quiz. It's coming. Just hold your horses. Okay, so the question I was trying to ask before Chelsea scored that scrappy goal was, Chris Kirkland provided 2 assists in his Premier League career. Only 7 other goalkeepers have provided more? The David Silva of goalkeepers. Can you name them? So we have 7 goalkeepers. I want you guys to play along at home. Make sure you're submitting your entries to Will on Twitter or in the comments, and he will pick out any victors. But do we have any idea, Chris included, who the assist merchants are amongst the goalkeepers in the Premier League?
Paul Robinson.
Edison.
Oh, Paul Robinson is one. That is a correct answer. Edison not made the list yet. No, Petr Cech not on there.
Schmeichel.
Some great names on there.
Van der Sar.
Yes. Peter Schmeichel.
Van der Sar.
Van der Sar's not on there, I'm afraid, but Schmeichel is of the Peter variety, not Casper.
Chris Kirkland.
So we've got Robinson. We've got Robinson, we've got Schmeichel. There's some surprising ones in there. One of your former Liverpool colleagues as well. Maybe not so surprising, but...
Oh, who's that? Alice? No.
Allison?
Pepe Reina?
Pepe Reina it is. Well done, Will.
Come on. Anyone want to chip in, lads? I'm bolding this quiz up. Come on.
No, I'm genuinely trying to think. I want to say someone that's right.
Peter Cech.
No, I'm afraid Petr Cech's not on there. We have a Bolton legend in there that you might not have arrived at. Jääskeläinen, what a man.
Jääskeläinen.
And also, I'm going to give you the remaining 2. No, I'll give you Mark Crossley, but I think you can get the last one.
Give us a clue.
What team did he play for?
Stint at Manchester United.
Foster.
No, good guess though.
Oh, God.
He went on to become a legend at another Merseyside club.
Tim Howard.
Oh, Tim Howard.
There we have it.
Tim Howard.
Chris Kirkland's delay there. I think he will give that last guess to him. I think that's all 7, gentlemen. Well done, job well done. A little bit of a niche quiz for you. If we had any correct suggestions, Will, in the comments, then make sure you just give them the credit they deserve when we next come to Social Corner, which, you know what, half-time's upon us. Let's do it right now.
Yeah, lots of questions flying in. There's a really good one here for you, Chris. It said, who had the biggest impact as you on a goalkeeper growing up?
Steve Guzovic. So I worked with him when I was at Coventry. He was the number 1 goalkeeper there. Seen the way he worked, seen the way he trained. He had the biggest impact on me, in the best possible way.
Was there any sort of goalkeeping idols you had growing up as well?
Yeah, it was him. Like I said, it was Oggy. He was just the hardest working trainer I've ever seen. He was the first out, last in every day. He trained harder than anybody I've ever known. And he was, and I took that on myself, thinking that's the only way you have to play. So I was very lucky to have him from an early age, which sort of set the tone for my career.
Yeah, nice. Coventry produced some outstanding talent of late as well, haven't they? James Maddison coming through the ranks as well. So there's something in the water at Coventry. I wanted to ask Chris about Istanbul and how tough it was to process missing that final or being in contention, of a starting berth through injury. When Liverpool was celebrating, a monumental achievement, one akin to last season or this season, maybe outweighed by the Premier League win. How hard was it? Not being sort of a part of it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I played in the Olympiacos game where Stevie scored. But then I got a bad back injury and needed an operation and missed the rest of the games. I mean, we were in Istanbul with my wife Leona, which was as a fan. I was there not as a player then. I was there as a fan, and it was it was an amazing experience. But yeah, gutted that I missed out on playing in a Champions League final.
Wow.
Go on, Will. Let's go for an update. I'm sure there's going to be some follow-on questions to that Champions point you just made in the Champions League, but let's have an update from the Championship, Will.
Permutation City is all well and good here. Birmingham are losing, but that doesn't matter. Barnsley are beating Brentford, which means, as it stands, West Brom are going up on 83 points. Even if Fulham were to go and win, they wouldn't have the right goal difference. So it needs Brentford with a 2-goal swing with about, a minute in stoppage time to play. So it looks like the Baggies are boinging back to the Premier League.
Will, as our resident Championship expert, who do you back to come up via the playoffs then if all things stay the same?
I mean, you would say Brentford, obviously, going into it because of they've got BMW up front and they've got an amazing defence and that midfield's so creative and the fullbacks are great. But having the chance to go up, which they have had on numerous chances today, they've lost to Stoke, they've just lost to Barnsley, who were two quite guff teams, to be honest. So it's going to be really hard for them to pick them up. So at the moment, I mean, Barnsley are staying up, but I think Brentford, just if they can pick their confidence up.
Yeah, I mean, we need more acronyms in the Premier League, don't we? We're missing a great one. So BMW, that's swung it for me. I'm back in Brentford. Chris, with your knowledge of the Championship, are you backing Brentford as well?
Yeah, I do. I think they're an outstanding football team. Nottingham Forest as well. I think they'll be extremely tough to beat. Good mates with Ben Watson,
sorry,
captain
can I
there.
be the arbiter of bad news, Chris? Swansea have currently replaced Nottingham Forest in the playoffs because they've scored another goal. I think that puts them on to, it's 4-1 Swansea, so they've just gone ahead on goal difference by scoring 4 tonight. So as it stands, it's Brentford, Fulham, Cardiff and Swansea are there on goals scored because they've got an absolute bag full tonight. It's all going off in the Championship. It's the best league in the world.
I've just jinxed him. Jinxed him, Boris.
Yeah, curse of the commentator. And I need to say something, Chris. On the subject of commentators, I think you sound almost identical to Alan Smith. Has anyone ever said that to you before?
No, never had that before. I'll take that though.
I've been thinking it for the last 50 minutes. If you ever wanted just to rope you in and have a week off, Chris.
Go on.
Mo Salah almost in there, but his shot was skew whiff. That's good interplay by Liverpool though, Chris.
Yeah, that was good from Firmino.
Yeah, brilliant. We've seen that many seasons, but yeah, he'll be disappointed with that finish.
Does no one else think Chris
Obviously
Kirkland
going for the
sounds like
golden
Alan
boot
Smith?
still as well.
No, I agree.
I'm really
when you said it, the sentence after, I was like, "Ooh, I hear it." I hear it.
Yeah, no one's even agreed with me behind the scenes. Shocking. Alan Smith was what? Sorry, Will.
Alan Smith's from my neck of the woods, and Chris Kirkland, fortunately, does not sound anything like me.
Well, I don't know if you're representative for your whole area, Will. We don't want to tar everyone with the Will Brazier brush, do we, mate?
The Will Brazier drone.
But no, I'm thinking if Alan Smith, he's a big fan of the Football Social when he's not working for Sky. If he wants a week off, rope Chris Kirkland in. No one will know the difference. There we have it. Sam, you're looking tense, mate. I can see your neck muscles. Your veins are popping. Are you feeling like a Liverpool goal is imminent?
We just don't look durable. And by that, I genuinely mean, like, every time they come forward, I'm worried. And I don't like just being worried all the time. I just want to, have a back line where if the ball comes over, we've got a commanding centre-back that comes out and just clears it and just deals with it. Like, sometimes they're capable of doing it, but it's the times that they shock you. It's kind of giving me, like, I'm just always expecting a mistake now. Oh, come on, boys, take care.
Liverpool tempting fate there with some, ultimately delightful play from the back, but a couple of tense moments there. Chris, if you were playing now, would you put more focus on sort of the distribution element of your game? Do you think goalkeepers need to have that in their locker now, or are we just seeing something very special with Edison and Alisson?
No, I think so now. Yeah, you've got a lot of managers want to build up play from the back. There's times to do it though. A lot, sometimes teams overplay and put themselves in real danger. But yeah, you've certainly, as a goalkeeper, you've got to be better with your feet than probably 5 years ago. You've got to be, obviously, when I played, the back pass rules in, you could pick the ball up. But it's obviously changed a lot now. So yeah, go on. Oh. So the better you can be with the feet as a goalkeeper, yeah. Do well again. He's got a score.
So easy.
Still looking for that elusive 20th goal, isn't he, gentlemen? And he's passed up a couple of big opportunities. I feel like that 20th goal is weighing on him quite heavily. Some uncharacteristic misses in there. Will, I'm hearing of some more goals in the Championship as well, buddy.
Yeah, I think Forest are going to be out of the playoffs confirmed. It's looking like it's going to be Swansea, Cardiff, Fulham and Brentford. Nottingham Forest started the day in 5th. The goal difference seemed to get them through, but Swansea have scored that many goals that they're down in 7th, and they will remain one of the longest standing teams in the Championship. They've been there for so many years, and they ain't going up again this season. They're down in 7th, Swansea, Cardiff and Fulham. And then at the top, it looks like we are moments away from the Baggies. They're just waiting for things to finish at Brentford, but the Baggies are going up, and well, the bottom is a mess. So I'll get into that later because there's points deductions pending. But West Brom back in the Premier League.
Yeah, the bottom might be a mess, but you've made the top delightfully clear for us, though, Will. So we will be coming back to you for relegation as well as promotion. Okay, so where we have it, West Brom, a worthy addition to the Premier League. They've been great this season, haven't they, Slaven Bilic's men? Like we said earlier.
Yes!
Bobby Firmino at home! Sam, it had to happen. Let's have a close-up on Sam. Oh, lovely.
What a
poetic.
Animate Sam's name.
What a header.
Can we have a strap on Sam, please, that just says mug?
This is so bad. This is so bad.
This is brilliant. This is football.
Oh, his first goal at home in donkey's years, or what feels like donkey's years, and it's with Sam Obaseki on the stream. How do you defend that ball, Chris?
Oh, brilliant. What a ball. You can't defend that ball. Brilliant whip on it, in between the defence and the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper can't come, defence is nowhere near it. And Firmino just has to get his head on it. Brilliant goal. What a cross.
He's banished the hoodoo, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's amazing that's his first goal in so many months at Anfield with the quality player that he is. But hopefully that'll kick-start him again now, and he can take that into next and score many more goals at Anfield next year.
Yeah, Firmino breaking his duck, and we have confirmation that West Brom have been promoted to the Premier League. So if you're a Baggies fan tuning in on the stream, I mean, highly unlikely, you're probably watching your side secure promotion. You should really be ask yourself what you're playing at if you're watching this stream. But you're in the Premier League. Will. Oh, and we have a dog that's a West Brom fan, apparently, so fair play.
Yeah, West Brom are back in the Premier League. Unbelievable season. I was saying, I've got a few mates that are West Brom fans, mates in the looser sense of the word, but I was saying, it feels like in the last 15 to 20 years, they've not been below 6th place in the Championship. They've either been in the Premier League, scrapping and getting mid-tables, and every time they come down, they just find the perfect remedy. Last season, they had the playoff and obviously lost to Aston Villa in a penalty shootout, so that was tight. And they've not been outstanding. They had a really good start to the season with some memorable results, but they've sort of just grinded away, and they've managed to hold off the pressure of Brentford. So Slaven Bilic was probably their best signing, bringing him to the Championship. He's embracing a Bire Eze at the moment, maybe doing some tap-up, but they're rolling around right now. So West Brom back in the big time, and yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I would like to confirm, if anyone thinks me and Will have truly lost the plot, that was the producer's dog that barked as we announced West Brom had secured promotion. Not nothing that anyone else could hear. And Mo Salah's going to be barking mad, Will, that he's missed that one-on-one yet again. Chris Kirkland, break down this chance for us, mate.
Yeah, so again, I think is it Rudiger though gets back. He's done enough to put him off, but yeah, he's had a few one-on-ones now where he's not looked as sharp as he normally does. But the defenders got back well. Still a corner to Liverpool, so has to make it 5.
If a 5th goal goes in, producers behind the scenes, can we just have a 2-shot of Sam next to Chris? Sam looking increasingly tense. And I don't think Chris could look any more chilled. Look at him with his cup of tea, his pillow, and a 31st victory for Liverpool this season.
Sam, you're actually presenting the Liverpool Champions League, the Champions title list. If that's all right for a 2-hour show on your own.
The dog's nice and chilled as well. Look,
there's the dog.
The dog's nice and chilled over there.
Hello.
Look
at that.
Gosh, that's how we've been playing.
Nice.
That's how we've been playing.
He's having a nice sleep as well.
The Kirkland household could not be more relaxed right now. But this is a hounding result for Chelsea, Sam. And do you think it could potentially cost you Champions League come the end of the season?
I don't know.
I mean, Leicester have got to play Manchester United, haven't they? So I don't quite know if
we've got
how
to
the
play
mathematics
Wolves.
work out in your favour. But yeah,
we've got to play Wolves. If we don't get a result at Wolves and they draw, we're not going to get Champions League football. So I'm not happy right now. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't very optimistic going into this game, but it's the performance, it's the way we're playing, it's the mistakes that we're making. It's just not the mistakes that you should be making at this period in the season. Yeah.
I mean, your man Pulisic has just come on for Mason Mount. How pleased have you been with Pulisic this season?
He's been quality. I'm surprised he didn't start. I'm quite annoyed he didn't start, to be fair. He played really well when he played Liverpool. Was it at the beginning of the season? At the beginning of the season, he played quite well. So I think he should have started. But yeah, man, I think it's still a little too late. I think they should have brought him on at half time, just change it up. But yeah.
There we have it, a defeated Sam Obaseki. Let's see if we can get a second Chelsea goal to lift his spirits. Because like he said, it's all about performance now. It's about momentum going into that Wolves game. So Chelsea need to find a way to dust themselves down here and prepare themselves for a crunch tie this weekend. I'm going to have to go to social corner. Absolutely breathless football from Liverpool. Very comprehensive. Trent is out of this world, gentlemen.
Yeah, just tying things up in the Championship. Confirmation that Swansea have got themselves in to the last playoff point. And just to show how mad this is, there's been a 6-goal swing tonight. Is Pulisic ball in? Goal, sorry. Call me later.
Pulisic, just so you start him. This is why.
There we go, Tammy.
This is why you start
Lost his glasses.
This is why. Lamps. I love you, bro, but you should have started him, man. Oh my! I actually almost broke my glasses there.
Oh, Pulisic.
Did you see the way
can't believe what he's seeing because his glasses have come off. Go on, Pulisic. Lads. I mean,
you start him.
A little bit of good luck there, but at least he's forcing the issue, Sam.
That's not good luck. That's not good luck. That's quality. That's quality. He is quality.
Is that their first touches, Sam? That's their first touches, no?
No, I think you're right. That's their first involvement.
It actually is. It actually is. That's.
That is what you call an impact sub, right?
There's still a lot left of the game, so I don't know. 2 goals is a deficit. If we just defend a bit better, I'll be happy. But it's things like this. It's things like that where the indecisiveness at the back when they've got the ball is either if you're going to pass it. I understand you want to play from the back, and I understand the philosophy to play from the back, play it to the wide men, and then move forward. But if you've got Mane and Salah onto you, clear the ball. It's better in their half than in our 6-yard area. Like, honestly.
Do you think Lampard's just been saying that in every half-time team talk? Can we just defend a little bit better, please? Because that's 54 goals conceded, Sam. Are you seeing any improvement? I know we mentioned earlier the 3-4-3 looked a little bit more solid, but are we seeing a Champions League defence forming?
No, not with the current defence that we have now. We need a senior centre back. I even think if we just got one solid centre back, if we had to just get one defender, just get a solid centre back, and I'm telling you, it would transform the whole team. Look what Van Dijk done for Liverpool. Like, I'm not saying that Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Gomez aren't good, but the confidence that he gives them is unmatched. Like, they feel like if I make a mistake, that man is going to be next to me and he's going to clean up for me. We don't have that in our defence. And that's genuinely what we need, because we've got the same type of centre-backs that are used to making the same type of errors. We can't be a Champions League squad and be conceding 10 goals from corners, be conceding 54 goals a season. Like, it's not good enough. And the reason why I kind of like it to a certain extent, hopefully it doesn't cost us the Champions League, but it kind of, this season, these defenders that were on the peripheral for a few years back, like Christensen, Zuma and Rudiger, they have no excuses now because they've been given all the opportunities. Oh my gosh! Oh!
What a chance.
But oh, wow, what a ball. I don't know if he was off. And he was even on. That was a brilliant ball from Reece James. He chipped
Chelsea
it into
opportunity for us.
He chipped it into Pulisic. He chested it perfectly, and he's just dragged it wide of the post. But positive since they've come on. Pulisic, Tammy, and Hudson-Odoi are causing them a lot of problems.
Yeah. Great first touch from Pulisic there. He's made a really good fist of it, hasn't he, his first season at Chelsea? Where do you see the new signings fitting in, Sam? Go through your, say Kai Havertz does sign. Where does Werner, Ziyech and Havertz fit into this side?
I'd say Werner. I think Werner is going to start up top. I think Ziyech and Pulisic, going off current form. I'm going off current form. I think it would be Ziyech and Pulisic that will be starting out wide. I'm not sure how he's going to integrate Havertz. I'm guessing he will start, but if he does, Havertz, Kante, Kovacic, that's a quality midfield and front line, to be honest. The fireworks already started at Anfield. Yeah, they've started.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've had to explain how Chelsea are going to line up next season to a backdrop of fireworks going off outside of Anfield. It would appear that Merseyside are in, the red side of Merseyside at least, are in a party mood. Of course, the
Chaps,
trophy.
I can actually hear them from my house.
Chris, have you got any to set up in the back garden for us? Live on Football Social.
No, the dog's petrified of. No, the dog's petrified of fireworks.
Go grab one out of the shed, mate.
I'm actually only 5 miles from Anfield, so I can actually hear them fireworks going off.
Quality. You might have to recreate the trophy lift for us, Chris. You might have to lift up the dog at the end of the game and just parade him around the living room.
Well, did you not see the? I done one on my Twitter earlier on with my wife and my daughter.
Oh, class! I was going to say you must have been enjoying it in your household, and we've enjoyed Wijnaldum and Keita's performance. Well, we did at least in the first half. They're off now for Curtis Jones and James Milner. Just how high a ceiling does Curtis Jones have, Chris? Oh, well, is this what it feels like to be on the other end of it, gentlemen?
Yeah, it does.
I can only apologise for every time you've had to deal with it when I have dipped out. But Chris, I think you temporarily went. I'm going to ask you about Curtis Jones again. I don't know if these things are my fault or not. I'm going to blame my connection. Why not? But yes, does Curtis Jones have the ability to really establish himself in this side, Chris Kirkland?
I've seen a lot of him. So over the last couple of years, I've watched Curtis a lot for the 18s and the under-23s down at the academy. I've done a lot of the games for Liverpool TV, and he's stood out every single time. He scored some wonderful goals. He's very clever. Time will tell. He's gonna. The one thing with Jurgen is he gives young players opportunities, and if it is going to be 5 subs again next year, which I hope it's not, to be honest, players, they definitely want that because they've got a better chance of getting on the pitch. If it is 5 subs again, then I expect to see him a lot next year as well. Along with Harvey Elliott, he's only just turned 17. There's they've got some outstanding Nico Williams at right back as well. We've got some outstanding players that are the lads, Alex Inglethorpe and all the staff down there do an amazing job to bring players through. And we've certainly now got 4 or 5 players that could possibly step up and be regulars in the first team squad.
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting point you raise about young players being in favour of 5 substitutions because it means they get more opportunity. I've never really thought about it in that way. So that is a fascinating standpoint because a lot of people think the ethics behind it, are wrong because it favours the big sides. Will, I'm hearing some more permutations in the Championship. Is there any way you can clear things up for us, or what are we saying?
Yeah, no, it's been an absolutely mental night in the Championship. I've been banging the drum about this league for ages, saying it's the best league in the world, and tonight it is delivered in more ways than one. Nobody was talking about the playoff picture going in tonight. Well, they were between Cardiff and Swansea. Obviously, the Welsh rivalry speaks for itself. But Nottingham Forest seemed safe, and there's been a 6-goal turnaround tonight. Swansea won 4-1. They did their part of it. And Stoke, who I think themselves would admit they haven't been the best all season, won 4-1, which is amazing in itself. But Forest lost out on goal scored, and it was a goal scored in the 96th minute, and it was an own goal by Nuno da Costa in the 96th minute, which has cost them the playoffs tonight.
Lovely, good work. Love a bit of wordplay, Will. Don't worry, I appreciated that, mate. Okay, let's just remind the guys at home, we've got 20 minutes left with Chris Kirkland. So get all your questions to Will using the relevant hashtags on the relevant forms of social media. Sam, last 5 minutes, we've seen a Chelsea attack. Do you harbour any hopes of getting something out of this game?
I honestly would if our defence was just a bit stronger and a bit just looked a bit more less worried when Liverpool are attacking, because I think going forward that's not really been an issue. But as a top team, you can't just depend on outscoring teams. Like, you're gonna have to come up against quality forwards like we're coming up against and hold your own, and we clearly haven't. I think the first half ruined us. And if we do get a goal in the next 5 minutes, then I think it can happen. Hudson-Odoi is on the break right now. If he delivers a good ball, unlucky. But yeah, I think you never know, man. You never know. We can come back, man, if we keep the ball in their half.
Yeah, you are seeing a little bit more possession, aren't you? You're seeing a little bit more joy in wide areas. That double substitution, no doubt, happened because Liverpool are tiring a little bit. But let's see how it pans out, like Sam said. We can go to a price boost now from our sponsors, Sky Bet. And that it is. Just caught that clap before we went to a one shot. Lovely. 4-4 draw was 16-1, is now 18-1. So we have some very positive men behind the scenes. Odds accurate at the time of recording and are subject to change. You have to be 18 plus to play along. Good stuff. So we managed to shoehorn that in amidst a Liverpool attack, but as Palaqueta clears. So 4-4, ambitious, but we like it. That's what we're all about on the Football Social.
I've been banging the 3-3 drum for ages, and I ain't had a price for that. And then all of a sudden, it's the penultimate show, and they start bringing out the 4-4.
I am hearing from the gallery that Chris Kirkland has actually gone out to buy fireworks for the football social, and we are going to be seeing a show from him at full time. He's making sure that he's got some mitts in the house for his dog's ears, and then we're good to go. Okay, so hopefully he'll be back with us shortly. This is all part of the fun, isn't it? People dipping in and out, and I'm gotta say, I'll just be honest with you while Chris isn't here. I'm just happy it's not me.
Please, decision making, lad.
It's it!
Switch!
Let's go!
Christian Pulisic is a match!
One more.
He's changed this match! He's...
Oh,
Sam, what a finish!
Look, what does it say? Never give up. Let's keep going. No matter what. No matter what. Never give up. I didn't even know that this top was going to mean so much today, yeah? But it's meaning a lot. What a ball from Hudson-Odoi. He flipped it over. Pulisic took his time in the penalty box, took about 3 touches to get the ball down. The defenders were scared of him. And then he rifled it into the top bins. Come on. Let's go. This is it. This is football, lads. This is why we started him. Look at this composure.
In the build-up to that, Tammy Abraham has turned 2 players into terracotta warriors. They're absolutely eating dust. So the physicality of Tammy Abraham playing a part in that goal, but the cross was fine, Sam. I've got to say that was mostly Pulisic.
No, the cross at that point, because that was the first time cross from Hudson-Odoi as well. He could have got that easily wrong, and he literally, I don't think he picked him out. He put it into a good area, but Hudson-Odoi, I mean, Pulisic definitely did the rest, and yeah, it was quality, man, quality from him.
Sam, I didn't want to have to say this live on air, but just because you're friends with Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think you've given him far too much credit there. You know what I'm
saying? Nah, I genuinely think that he could have got that so wrong. Honestly, Willian and Mount have not been good at delivering the ball in this game, and Hudson-Odoi, I think that's his second cross since he's come on, and it was perfect.
No, I think that's a fair comment. Like that. We've been waiting for that ball from Mason Mount for 60 odd minutes, and Hudson-Odoi's delivered in 10, 15. Yeah, fair play.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Liverpool's results since the title win, we have 2 losses, 2 wins and a draw. So they've been far from convincing. Like we said prior to the show, 4 victories in their last 9, in fact. So, I mean, now is the time to play this all-conquering Liverpool side, isn't it? There is just a vulnerability about them that we haven't seen, in the previous 30, 40 games. And what a finish we have on our hands. What a finish. Will, help me out, buddy.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, lots of drama here. What are we saying for top 4? I mean, it's an absolute shootout at the top and the bottom, isn't it, going into that last day of the season? Chelsea Wolves, we've already spoke about, Sam, but what about you, Chris, with your Leicester hat
on? I mean, listen, I want Leicester to secure Champions League football, don't get me wrong, but there'd be a certain sick satisfaction to seeing Brendan Rodgers not in the Champions League after he left Celtic in such circumstances. I feel like the football social is a safe space. I'm just being honest with you guys. The cynic in me wouldn't mind it, but we can actually, we can. Oh, okay, man. I'm not sure if we can bring my fellow Leicester lad in to weigh in on this opinion. He is here.
My head is so hot right now.
Chris, do you have the fireworks, and what do you think of Leicester's chances of qualifying for the Champions League?
Please don't concede this.
All right.
Yeah, I hope I do. I really do. Obviously, I'm a Leicester lad. All my family are Leicester City fans. I used to go down to Monday night football down at Filbert Street when I was a kid myself. So I hope they do. I really hope they do. I think Brendan's done a brilliant job there. And I hope they qualify for the Champions League, yeah. I think it'll be an amazing achievement if they do. Obviously, they won the league 2015, which I don't think that'll ever be beat again by any team. Totally unexpected, but good football.
I'm not sure if this is the best moment in time to ask this, Chris, with Trent Alexander-Arnold standing over a corner, but we're going to tempt fate. I want to ask you about your initiatives that you've got going and, why Team Kirkland is so behind walking at the moment, mate.
Yeah, well, we've started it off. It's brilliant. It was Mark Crosley that actually did it. For your mental health, everything like that, getting out walking, exercise. It's it's free as well. It just gets the feel good endorphins going. We've got these gloves here, if I can see them now. But my daughter come up with a pair of specially designed NHS gloves. I don't know if you can see them there. So Keep and legends of the game are going to be signing these, and we're going to auction. We're going to do a raffle for NHS and for mental health charities.
I love it, Chris. How much more needs to be done? Even in the top reaches of English football regarding mental health, buddy. Oh yeah, I can see them. Can you still hear me, Chris? Let me just ask that question again, Chris Kirkland. How much more do you think needs to be done throughout, the English pyramid regarding the mental health and safeguarding the mental health of players of all ages? Okay, we'll pick up that topic because obviously it's well worth discussing, and Chris is putting a lot of work to raise awareness around mental health off the pitch. So we'll pick up on that topic in just a moment. I've got a lot of sympathy for him. There must be something, about Chris's on the Football Social where you just can't see out a show without disconnecting. Will has gone blurry because the Championship is booting off. Again, it's distorting his molecules, the particles. The show is getting very heated, but we're gonna galvanise. Sam, Sam, I didn't want to come. I don't want to come to you after that fizzled out, but something's building here, right?
My head is hot right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, just because we're actually playing. Like, this is how we should have started the game. We should not have given them the opportunity to play, because when we give them the opportunity to play, we know how good Liverpool are. But now we pegged them back. I think the changes that they made has kind of helped us out, bringing Milner and Curtis Jones on. But I think our changes have literally changed the game.
How is Pulisic not starting, Sam? He's absolutely sensational, lad.
I don't know the decision making behind that. I know Frank loves Mount, and Mount brings a lot of the energy off the ball that Lampard loves a lot. But I think Pulisic is literally proving why he should have started this game. I think he's proven why he should have started this game. But I think Lampard's still learning. Like, this is still a learning experience, and the fact that he has brought Hudson-Odoi on, brought Tammy on, and they've turned the game around, is going to give him more questions to answer. So, yeah, man, it's all positive, man. If we get another goal, I'm going to lose it. And I'm feeling one. I'm feeling one coming.
Yeah, I actually think it's been interesting talking to various fans who haven't been maybe overly impressed with Mount and Abraham because of the starts they made, and then they had a little blip in form, right? But like you just pointed out there, Frank might be a young, inexperienced manager, but these are players really having breakthrough campaigns at their club at Premier League level. Obviously, Tammy Abraham had a loan stint at Swansea, a bit ill-fated. He's had a couple of prolific stints in the Championship. But this bodes really well for the future, doesn't it? However, does Mason Mount, I know he's Lampard's golden boy, but is he going to become one of the victims next season of this much improved forward line?
I'm not sure, because I think competition... Oh, ref! That's filthy, ref! Give him a card for that. The clinical challenge on on I think Kovacic there, and he's taken him out. I'm sure he's going to get carded. But sorry, what was your question again?
Is Mason Mount going to be the victim? When Lampard tries to shoehorn in his embarrassment of riches next season up front.
I'm not sure. I really feel like Mount has the work rate that a lot of players lack off the ball.
Oh my God.
I think Lampard loves it. I think Lampard loves the fact that he starts to press so well, and he's so good on the ball as well. His decision making, his decision making is quality as well. Obviously, he had that stint where he didn't really contribute to much goals, but he was still working hard. He's got a lot of competition, even in the side that he's playing in now. As a natural midfielder, he had Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, Barkley, Loftus-Cheek coming back in, and he still played 50. He's still made 50 appearances this season. Like that's a quality first year. And for someone that's literally just getting into the groove of things, he can only get better next season.
Yeah, I think anyone that's overly pessimistic about Mason Mount at the moment, or that tries to sound out and focus on his limitations, is really missing the point. We finally have a young, promising British player that's made over 50 appearances in a season for Chelsea. Like it's a huge win for the club, and it's a huge win for England. Pulisic winning a free kick in a promising position there. Joe Gomez. Just can't deal with him at the moment. Liverpool's defence are absolutely petrified every time Captain America gets on the ball. He's probably already the best American player at 21, but maybe Claudio Reyna or Brian McBride will have something to say about that. But Will, let's look at that little wry smile for Brian McBride. I love it. Will, what are the people saying in the comments? Do they believe that Chelsea might get back into it?
I think everyone's head's fallen off after a brilliant night of football. Lots of questions coming in, and as you can imagine, Chris, football is a fickle business, and attention's already heading towards next season. So, do we think Manchester City can bridge the gap?
Oh my goodness!
Game, set,
the dream is over. Oxlade-Chamberlain, who has been much maligned recently, had a very poor game against Arsenal, has come on. He's grabbed the back post finish. That was a lovely, lovely breakaway move from Liverpool, from a Chelsea free kick. Somewhere, Chris Kirkland is celebrating, no doubt, pointing towards the ceiling. What a move by Liverpool. Sorry, Sam, mate. That's textbook Liverpool. That's what we've become accustomed to this season. Breaking at pace. Hold on, are we doing this to Sam? Both. Let me figure out.
Way, I
Will,
that
do,
one,
do that again.
After that. League in 3 years.
I love it. We've got meta. Okay. So, I mean, it'd be great to get Chris Kirkland's reaction. We can't at the moment. He's still out there buying fireworks. Hopefully not illegal ones, but there we have it. Oxlade-Chamberlain coming good for the Reds. Oh, wow. Will, what was I even going to ask you, mate? I had a question for you, but it's...
on fire.
No, you're right. This is peak football social. What a way to go out.
Sam, Obaseki, lots of points coming in for you tonight. Francis says Chelsea have taken this 3 sponsorship far too far. As you obviously losing 5-3. You're aware of that.
Honestly, I promise you, since we've got this new deal, we've lost 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. We've won 3-3. Like, it's just, what's going on? Is there some sort of? I don't even know. Some free curse.
You're getting superstitious, mate.
Oh, I don't know where I am right now.
I don't know why we had a close-up of Adam Lallana there, but what a fade on him, I've got to say. What a fade on the young man.
Best fade in the Premier League?
I've been told from the gallery, it makes much more sense now that it's his last game for Liverpool, and that's why we're having a bit of a close-up on him.
You were just quite harsh on him as well there, Chris.
No, anything but harsh. What a glorious, glorious haircut on him. Rumour has it he might be going to Leicester City. He has been linked with several other clubs, but I think that would be a fantastic signing for Leicester. We're seeing Divock Origi and Minamino come on for the last 5-6 minutes here. So Liverpool apparently not shutting up shop, and they're going for it.
Chris, do you not think Lallana to Leicester is like all the mistakes Everton have been making for the last 15 years, bringing in these players that are like on the end of their career, high money, high wages?
I get what you're saying. I absolutely do, and it does depend on how much Leicester offer him in the wage front. However, I mean, how much could they have used a player of his calibre and experience for the run-in? They lost James Maddison, and as such, completely lost the ability to stitch an attack together in central areas. They're so reliant on their fullbacks in his absence, and you couple that with Ricardo's injury, and it just became a recipe for disaster at Leicester. Ben Chilwell injured as well, and of course. And then all of a sudden you're sort of relying on a youngster to progress the ball for you from left back. So I do think there's a place for him in a Leicester side. And there is a place for Chris Kirkland potentially on the Football Social in the last 5 minutes. Here he is, big man. He's switched it up. I think, are you on your phone now, Chris?
I'm on my phone now, yeah. I'm going to say the firework, the rain, it's carnage over in Liverpool. I think it's all affecting the Wi-Fi. Everyone's going mental.
Mate, you do not have to explain yourself to me. I have been disconnected left, right, and I have every sympathy, mate, and it happens to the best of us. Did you see the goal, more importantly?
Oxlade-Chamberlain, yes, I did. Seen the goal, yeah. Brilliant for him.
And how did you celebrate? Was it textbook pointing to the ceiling like we've seen so far on the social?
Yes, yeah. Well, I have got the game on the. I've been watching it on the TV as well.
There we have it. You have to turn that back pronto, or we'll get done, Chris. We'll get taken down, mate. But
sorry, yeah, I celebrated. I celebrated with the dog. Had a little
that's a hell of a screen. Not only is he buying illegal fireworks to let off outside Anfield, he's also streaming the game on his TV on the Football Social. I love it. We've gone absolute rogue last 5 minutes. We need some questions for Chris Kirkland, Will. Can you get him in, please, buddy?
Yeah. What's that, Chris? That 60-inch you got there?
Oh, I don't know. The wife got it for me. Present.
Yeah, lovely TV. More revealing questions like that going forward. Chris, we touched about your coaching as well. There's lots of young goalkeepers in the chat, and they just want, what advice have you got for a young keeper trying to break through?
Enjoy yourself. That's the biggest thing. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Work as hard as you can. Listen to your coaches. Make sure you're respectful. Respectful to your teammates as well, and just enjoy yourself and work as hard as you can.
Just on the goalkeeper training as well, the advancements in that it must have been in your career as well, because even seeing some of the England boys training, the goalkeeper training looks so fun and like just so just mashes up your brain with all the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's the hardest training, goalkeeper training. It's physically demanding, up down, a lot of repetitions. But yeah, you're right. The goalkeeping has come on so much over the last few years. Obviously, the footwork being the biggest one. We mentioned it earlier on. You know, you've got to be great now at distribution. A lot of attacks start with goalkeepers now. So there's a lot of emphasis on getting better with your footwork and getting better with distribution. But it'll always be the same for me. The best thing is keep the ball out of the net. That's your bread and butter. Keep the ball out of the net, and you'll give your team a great chance of winning matches.
Lovely stuff. And now we've got a lovely smooth connection and a lovely smooth Liverpool counter-attack. Let's revisit what we were talking about before you dipped out, Chris, which was the sort of charity work you've been doing and the way you've been raising awareness regarding mental health with some help from your fellow pros.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you see the gloves now.
Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely superb, mate.
Proper nice. Yeah, quality.
So my daughter come up with an idea to make some NHS gloves. We all know what amazing work they've done during COVID, the NHS, and really appreciated now. So we come up with the idea of making some of these specially designed gloves in the NHS colours. We're going to get all the Premier League goalkeepers to sign them. They've all agreed. And we're also getting legends of the game, Peter Schmeichel, Peter Shilton, Peter Cech. You know, there's so many keepers that are going to sign them. And we're going to do a big raffle online. So it's going to be £10 a ticket. We were going to do an auction, but with an auction, I think it would rule a lot of people out that might not be able to afford, when it gets into the hundreds of pounds. So
Nice.
we're going to do a raffle from £10 a ticket. Go on.
Kepa.
And
Oh my days.
everyone's got a chance then to win them. So everything we raise is going to go towards buying equipment for the NHS and for mental health charities.
Van Dijk almost at the back, but it did not stop Chris Kirkland explaining exactly what the purpose of those gloves are. Sounds like an extremely worthy cause. The three of the keeper coming to the fore for a great cause, like you said. And I just wanted to ask you maybe a bit more of a generic question on that, Chris. How much more needs to be done in football to sort of safeguard the mental health of its players and coaches and managers?
As much as possible. And when I first shared my story, it wasn't just for footballers. Yes, I owe a lot to football, but it was for society in general. They say 1 in 4 people suffer. It's more like 3 in 4. So the more work now. It's only really been over the last 12 to 18 months that you turn the TVs on now, you turn radio stations, and more or less every day now there's something regarding mental health awareness, which is brilliant. So the more that we can do that every single day, a lot of people now are talking about it and opening up, and that's the only way that it's going to be seen as not acceptable. It's normal. It is normal. People are going to suffer, and if they can talk about it and the more help available for people, then hopefully it'll help people to recover quicker.
Yeah, I love it. Exactly. Like you said, important to normalise it, and the only way to do that is to carry on, incorporating it into day-to-day conversation. Excellent work, mate. We'll read that just at the end, and you can let people know once more how they can partake in the raffle. And we'll do everything we can to sort of plug that to the Football Daily audience. A great cause and a great idea. Let's go back to the game. Close up there of Jordan Henderson. How have they missed the solidity that Jordan Henderson brings in this match, Chris?
Massive. And I tell you what it reminds me of. I remember when Jamie Carragher used to get a lot of stick when he used to play for Liverpool. And it wasn't until he broke his leg at Blackburn and he was out for about 3 or 4 months. And that's when the fans realised and the people realised just what Jamie Carragher did. That's when he was really missed. And I think the same for Jordan. I think it's probably done him a massive favour that obviously don't want to be injured. But I think it's shown over the last few games how much that he means to this team and how much he makes this team tick, particularly in the middle of the park. His energy, his drive, he spurs people on, he gets the better out of players. And he's done tremendous. You go back to 2013 and he was, more or less out the door. He was going possibly to Fulham.
Yeah.
Brendan didn't really want him, so he stayed around. 7 years later, he's won the Champions League. He's won the league now as captain. Absolutely incredible. He deserves all the credit, and so do all the squad. You're looking at Jurgen there on the touchline. It all comes from that man. What he's achieved, what he's done, incredible.
Yeah, a great tale of perseverance with Jordan Henderson. But Sam, how much longer did Chelsea persevere with Kepa? I think that is now 45 goals in 30. Let me get it up for you here. 33 appearances this season. Not good enough if you've got Champions League aspirations.
No, not at all, man. And I think that's kind of what we was talking about at the beginning of the game. It's so different when you have a confident keeper, like commanding the box and commanding the area. There was a free kick just at the end, and it was in between the keeper and the defenders. And Kepa, it was clear that it was the keeper that should have come to get it, and he didn't make one movement. All the players looked at him like, "Bro, are you not gonna come and get it?" type of thing. So it's just like, I don't know if it's a confidence situation, because when he first came, he was really confident. Maybe the mistakes have got to him, but I don't know. Maybe he has had his opportunity to shine, and I think I'll be very surprised if we don't go in for a keeper.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Yeah, like we said at the start of the show, very tough and somewhat harsh to judge him over the course of one full season. But at that level, that is the reality of the situation, and the reality was worse than I first mentioned to you. It's actually 47 goals in 33 appearances. I'm sure you used this, Sam. But we can see some full-time scenes now. Of course, the fireworks have begun outside of Anfield. already. The trophy lift is imminent. Liverpool fans, Liverpool players jubilant. We can visit the table in just a second, but Will, are the fireworks going off in the comments as well?
Yeah, fireworks going off. Liverpool have done it. Chelsea, they put up a great fight. It was probably one of the best games we've had on the Football Social since Project Restart. So lots of happy Liverpool fans, lots of happy football fans, because we've had 8 goals on a Football Social, and that means #content.
Yeah, lovely. So just a quick reminder, we're going to have some quick fire questions at the very end. So if you haven't had a question asked, then get them in. There's still time to pitch your question to Chris Kirkland. Let's have a look at the table then and how this affects the upper echelons of the Premier League. Manchester City, starting with Liverpool, played 37 points, 96. And how annoyed will Jurgen Klopp be if they win their last game and finish on 99 points? Of course, their form after lockdown costing them somewhat, but back to their best from an attacking standpoint, at the very least, in this game. Chelsea huffed and they puffed, but they could not bring themselves back into this fixture, although Christian Pulisic's late performance was absolutely superb. Okay, so that is the complexion of the table. Chelsea still chasing Manchester United down, and Leicester right on their heels. The bottom of the table looks a little bit like this. We won't stay with it for too long because, of course, the only real change is West Ham securing a point today against Manchester United. Okie dokie, we can hear about the championship results from Will in just a moment because of course there's still some stuff to clear up on that front. But what a whirlwind fixture, gentlemen. How do you sum up that performance, Chris? You might not be able to give us the full picture because you've been hopping from one device to the other, but still.
Yeah, listen, they can do that. We know there's goals in the team. They'll be disappointed they've let 3 goals in tonight, but listen, the hard work's already been done. It was done, I said the league was over in October, November time, and I got absolutely battered for it. But they've just been outstanding. Yeah, they've been absolutely outstanding. We know what the front three can do, and midfielders chipping in with goals. They're just, hopefully, if they keep the players together, and they need to add in the summer. I mentioned a striker and possibly a left back as well. Then, they could dominate for a few years now. Obviously, the Champions League last year, the Premier League this year, they won the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup as well, the Club Cup. So, brilliant times ahead for Liverpool. Keeping Jurgen happy is going to be the one thing, as long as he stays, you can see this team dominating for years to come.
More importantly, how's the dog? Fireworks haven't affected him, have they, Chris?
You know what? I've just had to let him out. He's just actually gone upstairs to our daughter. So whenever the fireworks go off, he goes upstairs to the daughter's bed for a little bit of comfort.
Right.
So yeah, it's ironic really because he's actually meant to be a gun dog. He's meant to be used to noises, but he's petrified.
Well, he's been better behaved than Jose Enrique's dog, mate. Jose Enrique's dog peed live on the Football Social.
Well, his actual birthday, believe it or not, is bonfire night as well. So he was born on November the 5th. So again, ironic.
There we have it. Bit of a mascot for tonight's game and result, and a jubilant mood around Anfield. Will, let's clear up the championship, mate, and have some final questions in.
Yeah, it's been a mad night in the Championship. As I said, the best league in the world. West Brom are going back up, but it was a crazy night. They were up and down. Brentford were pushing them, but West Brom are back in the Premier League. And then a 6-goal swing. Nottingham Forest lost 4-1 and a goal in the 96th minute, and it was an own goal by De Costa, has cost them a place in the playoff. Their stay in the Championship will go on and on. Down the bottom, unfortunately, it looks as it stands as if it's Hull, Wigan and Charlton who will be relegated to League One. So an unreal night. There you can see it there. Leeds as champions after that long wait. They're partying with Bielsa right now. Champagne are flying. West Brom going up. Fulham even had a chance at one point, but they'll have to set up a playoffs. There's your 4 in the playoffs. And down the bottom, it's been even crazier. which you can see here. 20th place, my beloved Birmingham staying up after a 3-1 defeat to Derby, and that just sums it up.
Blues.
But Wigan are down after that 12-point deduction. They will appeal it, of course, but as it stands, it's Charlton, Wigan and Hull, all Premier League former clubs as well. They're down in League One next season.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday have been in a very protracted standoff with the EFL, haven't they? One of your old clubs, Chris. But let's get to some important matters. Not that isn't important, of course, but we do have a big show coming up for you. Of course, if you'd like to watch Liverpool's trophy presentation, that will be live on Sky Sports after this. So feel free to tune in. Not just Sky Sports Premier League, it's the main event as well. I'm sure plenty of Liverpool fans will be sticking around for that. We also have the last football of the season. That's what I was getting so giddy about. I could barely discover my words. It returns, does the Football Social, at 3:30 on Sunday, the big day. Who will secure Champions League football? Well, you can find that with us on Soccer M and Football Daily's YouTube pages. Oh, what a show. Reminiscent of, being in the studio, that energy, Will. Do we have any final questions? Have you been holding on to any certified bangers for Chris to go?
Yeah, lots of bangers coming in, reminiscent of the fireworks above Anfield right now, if you will. Chris, one here for you. Obviously, you spent so much time at Liverpool, but playing with a prime Steven Gerrard, what was it like to play with him?
Incredible. Best player I've played with and best player I've probably played against. With him and Ronaldo, exceptional. Sets a standard in training. Him and Jamie Carragher. To be at Liverpool for as long as they were, the whole career is testament to what type of professionals they were. Amazing. When he used to strike a ball, it was just a different sound to anybody else. He was just an exceptional talent and a brilliant captain for Liverpool and go down as one of the biggest legends to ever play for Liverpool, and rightly so.
Love that. And then just finally as well, you're a bit impartial going into this, but who do you think will make up that top four come the full-time whistle on Sunday?
I think it'll be as it is now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it'll be as it is now, yeah.
Would you have said, talking of the start of the season, I don't think anyone had Man United and Chelsea in there, but let's focus on Chelsea because they were here tonight. What a job Frank Lampard's done.
Yeah, incredible. Brilliant player. Doesn't surprise me. He's a Chelsea legend. He was always going to make that step into management. I remember playing with him for England years ago. Attention to detail with training. He was one of the hardest working trainers around, and he just loved football. So it was no surprise when he went into management. He did a great job at Derby, very unlucky at Derby, and he's took the mantle at Chelsea, and he's doing an exceptional job. And he just got one more game to finish off now. If they make the Champions League, what a season that's been. The FA Cup final as well, obviously, against Arsenal. That's something to look forward to. So yeah, deserves a lot of credit.
Cheers, Chris.
Yeah, so just to bring it back to a Chelsea front, Chelsea Wolves coming up. Are you optimistic? Final thoughts on those as we head into the final game day?
I think they're obviously not going to be as strong as Liverpool, but at the same time, if defensively we're not switched on, then I'll be very nervous. I'm going to be very nervous. I think starting Pulisic is so important now, and I think he's proven that with the last 20 minutes of when he came on. But I think we can do it. Hopefully, the lads are taking this personally and realise that it's literally in their hands. If we win that game, we've got Champions League football, and it'll crown off a quality season, like Chris said. So hopefully they're up for it. Hopefully.
Like Sam says, the margins between a great and a poor season very fine as we head into the final week, and everyone's company has been very fine. Chris Kirkland, thank you for joining us. An absolute pleasure.
No problem.
Yeah,
Cheers, chat.
right, you
Great
are.
to be on board. Cheers,
and
chat.
I still can't get over the Alan Smith comparisons in the voice, but we're going to move on because I've already talked about that. No one agreed. Will, thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries, mate. Blues are staying up. I'm off for a pint.
There we have it, Sam. Good man.
Sorry,
Thank
just
you.
catching the
Cheers
fly.
for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, chaps. Take care. Stay safe.
Later.
You too, mate.